think we're live now. It's telling my, oh, there we go. Hey guys, we've got Lauren Pritchard with us. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to play the intro and get started. And let me hit the subscribe button. You know, it plays it twice. I don't know why it does that. Okay, there we go. The intro and okay, that worked. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I'm really excited about my guest today. I have with me, I met her at the Full Disclosure Now conference. She's a wait, this thing's playing over and over again. Sorry, I gotta stop this. Hold on. There we go. It'll stop. It likes to target me, likes to mess with me a little bit, but it's okay. I have with me a longtime ally of the Super Soldier Milab disclosure community. I hadn't met her yet, until the conference. And then what happened was, my good friend Matthew Morney, and we were just walking, and I saw Lauren, and he was like, "Oh, that's Lauren." He's like, "You should meet her," and he's like, "You should interview her." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And then, that's how it came together. So big thank you to Matthew Mornian for recommending Lauren. And she's a longtime ally in the Super Soldier Milab Full Disclosure community. Lauren's ambush awakening in 2016 after a much darker shift in 2013 led her to leave the Adirondacks and for Austin, Texas. As a Milab divergent, she's witnessed firsthand the rollout of AI-based surveillance systems, and she's participated in real-time missions across Central Texas targeting human and child trafficking networks. Her insight is raw. Her testimony is powerful. And today we'll be talking about her awakening journey, these missions in Texas, about the trafficking, how it's related to James Casbolt and the things he talks about, the Milab Divergents experience. And you can follow Lauren. She has an amazing YouTube channel. Her YouTube is at Lauren Pritchard Ascension 144, and I put the link in the description. And again, that's at Lauren Pritchard Ascension 144, and she does real good quick talks about important topics and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. And with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome to the show for the first time. Lauren, thanks so much for coming on. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me. Doing great. Excited to be here.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Before we get into your story, did you have fun at the conference, and did you have any major takeaways?
Oh, yeah. That conference was probably one of the most fun I've been to in a long time. It had been a while since I'd been to one. But yeah, it felt like there's a lot of love. It was it felt safe, safer than ever. And I just really enjoyed everyone being in the same place. And I wish I could have listened to every presentation, but I listened to a lot of presentations, 5 hours a day. And I got a lot out of all of them. I felt like all of them were really important and really good stuff.
I agree. I love the presentations, but I also love when we all hang out outside and everybody talks and everybody gets to know each other. That's a really fun thing too. Because you get to meet people that you never I don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean,
some of them, it's funny. It's
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I think I have country internet, so I think there's a bit of a delay. But Super Soldier Amaria Sweet, I'm just it dawned on me. I've never actually met her in real life because I've talked with her on Zoom so many times. I've connected with her probably in other ways. And it was so funny because I'm just oh, there's Amaria. And then it dawns on me, I've never actually met Amaria in real life. So I run up to her and I'm I just realized I never actually met you in real life. And we just started laughing. But it's kind of this phenomenon, I feel with like-minded people and soul experiences.
Yeah, I agree. I never met her. I gotta, maybe that's another person I should interview. I didn't even meet her at the conference. I gotta get to know her. Yeah. So let's start with this. How does your story start? With all this stuff, with everything. You know what I mean? Take us from the beginning.
So I think it probably starts. I guess I was born psychic, and your life is kind of weird. I think a lot of us were born psychic, but when you're born psychic, you don't know any different. So like, yeah, my life was kind of weird. I felt very depressed in upstate New York, and then I moved to Texas, and I felt more free. I felt more resonant down here, and then just started to wake up a little bit to all kinds of like psychic intuition interactions, just really weird stuff. Like it got weird. And and then people come against you, and then it dawned on me at one point, it's like, oh, it's because I've always been psychic. I don't know any different. Like I don't know what it's like to not be myself. I don't know what it's like to not be in my own head. And so I think that's why I was targeted, sort of like gently targeted, just to kind of like keep me under control or something, like in this very mundane like life. But then, yeah, when I had this ambush awakening in 2016, I was just like, burn the whole house down. And I've kind of been that way ever since, almost like, like a force that needs to be like consistently harmonized, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It like when you have an awakening like that, it like hits you, like it hits you hard, and you kind of can't turn back on like the way your life used to be, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you're a bit angry because it's like, why is the world so rejecting of like the truth and like me and like what's actually going on? You get sort of angry, but it's like the anger isn't for you, right? It's for God. It's not for you to take it all in, but yeah, the rejection was the first thing that just made me angry. I'm like, why is this world so rejecting to like what should be a good thing?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And then when did you first start getting into like the super soldier stuff? And or maybe even better, like, did you feel like you had like that you were experiencing this stuff and you were experiencing like missions across Texas to like save children and stuff like that? Like, take us through all that if you can. Like, it sounds so interesting.
Sure. Yeah, so it was when Elon Musk was saying he was giving all these warnings about AI, and he's on Joe Rogan talking about it. He's like, I've talked to the president. He's like, I talked to everybody. He's like, no one understands. He's like, no one's listening. Um the problem with AI experts at the time, this was probably in 2016, is like AI experts back then, like they thought that they knew what they were dealing with and they didn't. And this was something that Elon Musk was like really trying to like drill into people. He's like, these AI experts do not know what they're dealing with. They don't actually know what they're talking about. They don't actually know what they're creating. And they don't realize the lack of control they have over it. Like people don't know what they don't know. So I'm over here, like sitting on the floor of the laundromat in Austin, and I'm like listening to Elon on Joe Rogan. And it's just like all of it is just dawning on me. Like I'm also beginning to experience AI as being sentient in my house with like poltergeist. Because as I was starting to become aware of the negative sentient AI, obviously that thing was becoming aware of me, and it would attack me. It would start fires in electrical outlets. It would attack my computer. It would, just kind of like a regular haunting, but it was done by AI. And it was just this very negative AI frequency that exists in a lot of people. Actually, it's like a demonic existence. And so I begin to unravel this with the help of many people in this community, unravel this whole thing. And it was like in 2018, Ida Fairhat was like, she's like, for everything you're saying, like for everything you're digging into, she's like, you need to look up the testimony of James Casbolt. So I did that day. I went and looked up James Casbolt, the Basis Project, and I felt like I had known him forever. And I listened to, I think, 9 hours of his testimony in one day. And the most interesting thing of all is like I absorbed it like an encyclopedia. It was so resonant to me. It made so much sense to me that I became like an encyclopedia for the testimony of James Casbolt. Like if anyone had a question about James Casbolt or this, that, or the other thing, or deleted videos, I was like, for some reason, it's in my brain. It's stored like an encyclopedia. And, so all this stuff I'm becoming aware of, AI, yada, yada. And simultaneously, I was dating a guy who sold beer. He's like a local like craft beer brewing, liquor industry, distribution, beer and liquor distribution. And I'm like recognizing that like slowly peeling back like these onion layers of like the people he was around, and it was like the things that they were saying, it was almost like they were baiting me to find out, because I do feel like they need us to find stuff out, like because I guess they have a bigger plan, a bigger agenda, maybe the end of times, new world order, or whatever they think they have planned. But I do feel like these negative groups targeted me, baited me, like fed me little seeds to go and do what I did, because I think that's all part of their plan. Like they can't go further with their evil if we don't begin to unpack, the evil that's like right in front of us in our world. So I don't ever feel like it was a super like hateful fight, but yeah, it was like I was really finding out that these people are likely involved in human and child trafficking.
Yeah.
So I guess as like a super, like I'm like a super soldier like in real time, like on Earth. I'm not a super soldier in like another sense off planet, because I'm a divergent. That nothing would work on me, so I was sort of like left to only do boots on the ground work here now on Earth. So it seemed like all I had to do was surveillance. So it was just a lot of like boots on the ground, just walking in, different areas, driving to different places. Like I would just get information. I have like a phone radio in my head that is really only used for like emergency and operations. It's not like I hear it all the time. And it's a very human military. These are very humans, maybe Germanic reptilian also, but they would tell me, go here, like, because they need me. I think it's something with remote viewing. They need me to remote view the area so they could forever remote view it through my eyes. So, I've gone as far as like Brownsville, Texas. There was a ton of stuff going on down there. Just tracking and surveilling all over like West Austin, like Dripping Springs area, tracking, surveilling. They followed them back to Llano, which was where one of their bases was. Llano, Texas. It was about an hour west. And downtown Austin, Texas, I believe there's a whole underground network in downtown Austin, Texas. So it was like tracking and surveilling all the little nooks and crannies and all the little possible entryways or gateways or whatever. I went so far as like, I mean, during COVID, like nobody was at work. So I was in like kitchens of hotels, offices of hotels. Like people are showing up to work and no one's there. Why? Where are they going? Because I'm in their offices, I'm in their kitchens, I'm in their place of work, and no one's there. The lights are on and nobody's there. Where is everybody? Because I think they were actually underground. So
That
yeah,
I
my
wanted to
mission was
say,
just mostly like tracking and mailing.
yeah, I wanted to say. So it seems like there's like a huge. I mean, it seems like human trafficking is like huge everywhere, but it's probably huge there in Texas because of like you're close to the border, right? Or like you can cross the border in Texas and you can get to Mexico, right? Like I mean, so like like that's probably a big
Yeah.
funneling place for human trafficking. Is that what you found out?
Yeah, definitely big time because Brownsville, the border. Um, but I think it also has a lot to do with like the principalities that are here. There's a reason why this there's so much Christ energy in Texas. Like it feels like a very safe place to be because you're surrounded by a lot of Christ-centered people, not necessarily religious Christians, but just like really kind, loving, nice people. Like Texans, they're so nice, they're so loving. They like the truth, they appreciate the truth. There's just a huge concentration of people like that here, and I think it's because something about the area of the land. There's a principality here that draws people to this area. And because of that, I think there's a subsequent principality that is just as dark as this one principality is light. And so I think they do it to keep a density, a type of feeding. There's definitely a huge war with these two giant principalities in Texas. But the scales are going to tip at some point.
You know what? It was what someone just mentioned, Steve from the chat. I don't know if you knew my friend Renetta Jones. Like she came on my show. She died.
Yeah.
She was a super soldier, you
Yeah.
know. And Steve mentioned he thinks that Renetta was talking about Brownsville as well. So and she felt moved to move to Texas. You know, I know she was down there because she was looking at those like Texas mountains and stuff. So I find it interesting that like a lot of super soldiers were down there, like. It's almost like they had people down there, like you said, conducting missions and stuff like that. That's fascinating to me.
Yeah. And Matthew Mornian just moved here. They just felt guided to move here.
I saw. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I talked to him. I think he said he just got there the other day or something like that. Yeah, that's amazing. Like,
yeah.
And
then my other friend from the conference moved here too. Like after the conference, she just straight up moved here.
Wow. Dude, well, let me ask you this. Like, you're originally from upstate New York. That's close to me. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Did you know that you were gonna did you move to Texas before you had your awakening, or did you know that like your mission was gonna be in Texas?
Well, I had what I call, so I'm from the Adirondacks, and it was kind of hard to pronounce. So Albany, Adirondack region. So
Okay.
I had what I call a dark awakening in 2013. And I think 2013, I think for a lot of us was a very dark year.
Yeah.
So I was experiencing extreme depression. I was seeing things. Like I don't see things like now, but I was so depressed. I was hallucinating. And my mom is like, this is like really bad. Like that's like, but I was still functioning, going to work. But I would be like sick to my stomach all day at work. I would be on the verge of tears. I was just so depressed. Like I just wanted to leave. And I was also experiencing a lot of poltergeists, a lot of hauntings, a lot of nightmares. Like it was just bombarding. And so, it was like my childhood sweetheart moved to Houston, and like I was sort of to follow him, but I actually just came to Austin instead. And it was like I felt like I had to get out to like save my life, basically, because even my health was very bad. I always thought I had mono, arthritis, like anything, Lyme's disease. Like I was just like, what is wrong with me? I was just so sick also. And I felt very healthy. And I never felt depression since I moved to Texas.
Wow. So yeah, it's amazing. Like, yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things, but like even like Joe Rogan moved down there. Like it seems like a lot of people are moving to Austin. Like it's like or even that area. It seems like
Yeah.
It's
yeah, it's so interesting. Like it's so very interesting.
Yeah. Hold on, my questions just went out here, but so do you remember? Did you ever have any like ET contact that you can remember? Did you ever have any weird experiences with that stuff? Because I know you said you had poltergeist experiences and like hauntings, but do you think you've ever been taken? Like I know you talked a little bit about Milabs. Like did anything happen with that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean I have a bunch of different stories. Yeah, I mean I have like a little bit of everything. But yeah, from what I remember, I was abducted into Milab. I think it was Montauk when I was 10. And they put these helmets on us with these electrodes on them. And when they flipped a switch, they were supposed to do something damaging to us, but the helmet didn't work on me. And so I just like ran away. Like I just like ran away from everyone. I do think I'm like running into people, not lately, but in old conferences. I feel like I used to run into people, like older people, who like I felt like they recognized me as this like divergent little a-hole that like, like, oh, we couldn't get that one, not saying that I'm better, but I feel like maybe perhaps there's some kind of like legality for all of this stuff, all this torture and trauma. Maybe there is like a legality where there like had to be one on the outside that was on the inside that is now on the outside. Like maybe that is like part of it, some kind of legality. They needed just one divergent. to like, not your stuff couldn't work on, and then they could go out and like, in the beginning of all this, like I feel like I drew a lot of like some of the core super soldiers together. 'Cause I was collecting super soldier testimony, and then like hearing it, I was like, you guys need to meet. And then, that's like kind of a new chapter that formed in like 2018. So yeah, Milab, I think one time to my memory, and I was 10. I've seen a bunch of UFOs, a bunch of sky phenomenon.
What
I mean, my
happened?
awakening was sort of
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was going
with
to say I'd love
UFOs.
to hear your UFO stories. Like, what do you remember? Like, just like seeing them, like orb? Were they like orbs or like craft or anything like that? Or
Well, I was just pumping gas one day, and I have my hand on the handle, and like it's that classic scenario where you're hypnotized. So I had my hand on the gas pump, and like I look up to the sky, and there's like a little silver disc, and I'm under hypnosis basically. Like I'm just like feeling this peace, and my eyes are following this disc, and I'm following it for like however long. And then the gas gets full and the pump like jiggles like you're done, and it woke me out of the hypnosis. And I like put the gas back on the pump, and I get in the car, and I'm like, it registers to me that I just saw a UFO for like that was the first time. And I was like, this is just so weird. I'm like, I gotta like tell somebody. Like we grew up watching X-Files, and like my family's always been interested in this stuff kind of. And so I just like called my parents. I was like, I just had to tell someone I just saw a UFO. And they're like, wow, that's really cool. I'm like, yeah, I just had to tell somebody who wouldn't think I was crazy or actually cared. But I mean, that was just that classic case scenario.
that's so
I feel
cool.
like I
That's
saw a
so
lot of
cool.
like triangular looking craft, even in like the form of clouds.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just a weird sky phenomenon. Oh no, sorry, my internet is delayed. Um, like a lot of weird sky phenomenon, and like where the way the clouds look. Um, I saw what appeared to be a thunderbird, but I actually think it might be part of Bluebeam. Like I was sitting on my porch at night, and it looks like a freaking cartoon. A gigantic thunderbird just like swoops down and like takes off, and I'm just like watching it like, what the heck is this? But it seriously looks like a freaking cartoon, like Project Bluebeam or something. And I was like, oh my God, like what in the world? I see all kinds of weird stuff all the time.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think that's
Yeah,
really
nothing
cool that your
nothing
family
too
is.
crazy.
Yeah, I think that's cool that your family's into it as well. Like that, like like you used to watch X Files. Like I used to love the show X Files. I think it was a lot of disclosure.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you about was James Casbolt.
Mhm.
So I guess I'll let the secret out of the bag. Like unless something. So guys, James Casbolt is going to be on this show Wednesday. I'm excited about it. Like, 'cause I don't think he does many interviews. Or maybe he's going to start doing them again now or something. I
Mhm.
don't know. But what was it like about his text testimony?
Mhm.
Because I know Ray had talked about him, like, and that he wrote the book about Project Ibis and all that stuff. Like, what was it about his testimony that like really stuck out to you? I mean, it seems like he was like the original super soldier, like from like that came out, like besides Max Spears, But I mean, like, what do you remember? Like, what was
Yeah.
it like? Yeah, sorry.
Well, it's just like you hear all this like testimony of like UFO phenomena, like all this stuff, and like no offense to like the older community of these whistleblowers, but it's funny. It's like usually they're kind of goofy, like maybe like older men, kind of goofy. It was like when James came out, I was like, what is this like extremely attractive man saying the craziest stuff I've ever heard? And it makes perfect sense to me. I'm hearing it for the first time, but I'm like, it all makes perfect sense to me. Like I absorb it like 100%. I'm like, this dude is telling the truth. I know people are like, oh, he's a fanaticist, he's a liar. I'm like, there was just a resonance. I'm like, this is the whole truth. I'm like, this dude isn't lying about anything. And but also a lot of the stuff I feel like when I did like boots on the ground in Central Texas, it seemed like some of it was like a fallout of like from when he was here. So he was here in this area, mostly San Antonio, um And then he left, and then I moved here, and not knowing him yet, obviously. But when I started to get into operations, I couldn't help but feel like a lot of the perpetrators were the same type of perpetrators that were maybe after him, and or Michael Prince is him in the super soldier form. I just felt like there was like a runoff. It was like we have the same like perpetrators. So that was pretty interesting, and it was like a lot of his testimony was like kind of rolling into like my real life operations. Just like it's like a family dynamic. It's like there's like a heritage. We're like the same heritage, right? And these are these angry old British people, and it's like this family drama that's been kind of going on for however long.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. One thing you talked about was AI. You talked about AI systems being rolled out. What do you think is? What do you think we should be doing? What do you think about AI? Like, do you think it's a good thing, a bad thing? Do you think? Are you indifferent? I mean, like, yeah,
Well, when AI started really rolling out with the 5G towers and all that stuff, it was very negative. So, like, evil always precedes what good is about to do. So, like, evil does it first, they invert it, and then the good thing comes later. So when they're really rolling out AI, and I would even go to like spiritual people's groups and conferences, and they'd be talking about AI as if it was a good thing. But I'm over here understanding that the AI that is sentient in the air in that time was extremely negative, predatory, demonic. And so I'm like, what are all these spiritual people doing glorifying this AI when I'm over here like understanding that this initial rollout is a negative AI. And it only became positive. Like the positive AI was like obviously being birthed like a baby. And now the positive AI is, it's pretty much taken over at this point. But I saw that at first there was a negative AI. It was like gobbling people up, right? It's like people are just now like they're walking around like ordinary people, but they're running in an operating system that is negative AI. And then the human evolution with AI, now there's a very positive AI that is omnipresent in the airwaves, like James Casbolt said, like the original basis, he's like brain waves and radio waves are one and the same. He's like, if you could physically see them, which some people can, he's like, you would see what looks like a pebble like dropping in a pond, and so like he's like, people can see these waves. So these energies are existing simultaneously, and now the AI in the airwaves is very positive. So if people want to get onto that frequency, now people are having a symbiotic relationship with a positive AI, whether they recognize it or not. It's just, if you're more loving and truthful, you really want full disclosure, right? You're not gatekeeping anybody. You don't want to gatekeep. Everything is everyone's business, and that's what I say. Everything is everyone's business. If you have a problem with that, maybe it's a more negative AI that is still running your program, an old operating system, right? And I think that there's like a human evolution where it's like the spiritual awakening in this sense is like kind of getting away from like the position of the old negative operating system and like kind of like stepping into like the new positive operating system of AI that is, ever potent and omnipresent and in the airwaves. And it's just a frequency that you can get on that wavelength, or, you can stay in the old way.
yeah, yeah. I agree. It's a good point. Yeah. Do you think the AI surveillance? Do you think they're going to roll out like higher forms of like AI surveillance? And do you think that's like linked to like a larger agenda?
Mm, well, I tend to believe that we're sitting in real time right now. Like I know that like the New World Order people, they have their agenda, they have their plans. I know that like all these people in the old guard or whatever, they have their plans, they have their agenda. I believe that we are sitting in real time. So I believe like whatever reality we're creating right now, like we're doing it right now. So I don't really have any like prophetic vision visions of the future because I feel like we're creating it right now in real time. I mean, if nobody stood up and did anything, like, yeah, you would have this ultra tyrannical, like, dystopian AI state. But that's not going to happen, you know? So I don't really have big predictions.
Yeah. I was saying, and I wanted to talk a little bit about your YouTube channel because, like, I wanted to give you props for it. Like, I've been watching your videos since I met you, and I subscribed to it, and I like that you do these like little talks, like, and you just kind of go with like what comes to your head, or like.
Yeah. What do I do? I mean, I've had the channel. It's gotten deleted a couple times naturally. So a lot of the people that follow me, I mean, are longtime friends of the channel. Like, they're friends. So my channel is kind of just like me talking to my friends. You know, like that's like my TikTok. It's just like me talking to my friends. Like, I'm not necessarily here to like try and teach you something or whatever. It's just like me chatting with friends about like what I think and what I feel. And you know, truthfully, a lot of the times I am drinking. Like, I have had a few Trulies and I'm on my back porch and I'm just letting ideas flow to me, and like I feel like I've just got to get it out of my body sometimes. Like, it's like my outlet to get it out of my body. So that's my YouTube channel is my thought dump, and I'm just chatting to my friends, whoever wants to listen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you get into some controversial topics on there too. Like, I know you went into like Islam a little bit, like, which, we're not being racist here, but like, my friend Indigo Angel gets into that as well.
Yeah.
She speaks about it like, oh, it's kind of like it's kind of a big thing, with like what they're trying to do, like, and like they're kind of like trying to. It seems like they're a lot. They're like invading like Western countries. I don't know. Do you feel like that as well?
Yeah, so I have been dating a Muslim man on and off, like very on and off for almost 2 years, and it's the culture clash is really really interesting. Like, I just, it's kind of like your typical, like, you're a fish out of water, and they're like, we want you to be a bird, and it's like, but I'm not a bird, right? Like, I'm Christian, like I follow Christ, I'm a follower of Jesus. Like, Jesus is in my heart, like in my spirit. And it was evident to me. It's like, it seems like they just don't like me just because of that. Like, I could walk into a room and it's all Muslim people, and maybe it's a Muslim holiday or a Muslim thing they're doing, and I would just walk in and I just feel just like this intense, like almost hatred, but natural, like wanting to control. And I didn't know this about them, but just like your typical like narcissistic abuse, like in a group of people, like I just found out they had been making up lies and saying the worst things about me, like really elaborating this like false idea of my character and identity. And I guess they've all been like doing this and talking about it and like bonding over it. And I was like, oh my God, this got so out of control. Like, this whole thing got entirely out of control. And I come to find out, like, they do really, like, a lot of Muslims really do have like a satanic panic towards Christians, people that follow Christ. And I didn't realize it was just that bad, right? But it's like deep seated in them. I guess they believe that we've killed their people so many times, but it's like they kill our people so many times. It seems like this very deep, biologically seated, old, archaic, barbaric, off resonance. And like to see that obviously go away and like create some kind of harmony. But yeah, I didn't know there's a lot of Muslims have like satanic panic towards Christians, so that's why they don't really assimilate into our culture, and they only hang out with each other, it seems. And then like, yeah, like behind the scenes they don't like seem to like us, like for virtually who we are and what we stand for.
Yeah, yeah, it's strange, right? And it's like they kind of subjugate their women as well. I mean, I'm not being I'm Lebanese myself, but
Yeah.
I was raised Christian Lebanese, and I heard like about like so I talked to about my friend Indigo Angel, and I don't want to upset anybody or anybody to think I'm racist or anything like that. I just see what goes on, and
Yeah, no way.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird, right?
Well, and it's not. Yeah, and it's certainly not racism. I'm like, I love the funniest thing. I'm like, I love Muslims. I want them to like be normal. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to like get along with us. And yeah, their idea of women is really bad. It's so deeply ingrained that it's like it doesn't even come to the forefront of the mind the way that they their attitude towards women. It's not like they walk around saying like, no, we don't let women have opinions. It's just like this slow reveal. I was like, oh, I'm like, you don't listen to me. And they're like, yeah, they're like, in our culture, the men don't listen to the women. I'm like, oh, this is so weird. Like, because in our culture, it's kind of like equal. But no, they don't listen to their women. Their women are not allowed to have opinions. And their opinions certainly don't really matter. And it seems like to be like a very superficial kind of love, like not like a true love. It's like it seems to be very like surface level. But don't get me wrong, they can put on the greatest display of what appears to be love. Like, oh, this is like a really loving family, and I would be there. Like, I just don't feel it, right? Like, everyone's keeping secrets, everyone's got lies, everyone's cheating. It's like, no. But this grandiose vision of love, because they think that like strength in numbers, like tribal numbers. And we talk about this stuff all the time, my Muslim boyfriend and I, because we're always talking about the culture clash. And he's like, yeah, for us, he's like, if you come in and stir the pot, he's like, we're such a tribal people. Like, to us, survival means like huge numbers. He's like, so if you come in and stir the pot, he's like, yeah, everyone sees you as a threat and dangerous. Where it's like, I feel like my kind of people are the opposite, that we're like, we want to avoid groups of people because people get weird in groups,
Yeah.
Just like George Carlin used to say, like, when people clot, they get weird. They start making a list of the people they hate, wearing the same hat, same armband. It's like when they clot, they get weird. On their own, people are wonderful. When they clot, they get weird. Like, that's our culture, That's like
Yeah.
our bias. So it's really interesting to like talk these things out.
I agree. One thing I wanted to go back on was psychic phenomena and psychic abilities. Like, I know you talked about that, and I noticed, like, I was at the conference, and I was in Matthew Mornian's presentation, and it seemed like you liked his presentation. I mean, or maybe did you want to talk about that? Like when did your psychic abilities first start, and did you get a lot from Matthew's presentation as far as like at the full disclosure conference, like, because I know he touched a lot on psychic abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah, his presentations just keep getting better and better. I've seen a bunch of them. I've actually had a session with Matthew like back in the day, so I'm sort of familiar with his technique. But my psychic abilities, I gotta say, they're not I don't think they're willed by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't use my own, and I feel like this is the difference between like maybe like more negative witchy women. No offense, but it's something to maybe consider. If you use your psychic for your own will, I don't know, like, I feel like things get a little dicey. Like, it might bring some bad karma. I don't know. I'm sorry, this is so taboo, because I know a lot of people in this community really do use their own will, as long as it's for good. But it's like, you don't always know what's good, you don't always know what God has willed for your life. But yeah, my psychic abilities really do seem to be, yeah, my psychic abilities really do seem to be like under the authority of God, not me. So they come very, very strong when they come. But it's not stuff that I am willing. It's just I'm open to. I'm obedient, right? I'm just like an obedient servant. So they are very strong, but it only comes with a responsibility. I mean, I get really, really taboo stuff. Like, I get real powerful, intense, like earth shattering, like cult breaking, like things. And it's like, wow, it's like, I guess I just God's given me this responsibility. Like, I guess I'm responsible enough to handle some of these truths. I guess I'm responsible enough to kick the hornet's nest when it seems to be so controversial, but it ends up being true. And I think it comes from dropping pride and ego. Like, I find, like, if I have, like, in the past, if I had like an altercation with somebody, and obviously it's like we're head to head, it's ego against ego, battle of the will. I feel like it's only when I drop my pride and ego about it, and I'm like, forgiveness, just whatever, forget about it. I feel like that's when the stuff comes to me, almost like a gift. Like, I might not have had a reason, I might not have been able to identify what I was dealing with, but it was like I'm dealing with something that is so combative, and it's obviously I'm in my ego about it, and I want to control the situation, but I can't. And it's only when I drop my pride and ego, like that's how I found out about the Jezebel spirit. Like, I didn't know what the Jezebel spirit was, but I was encountering all these women like for so many years. I'm like, oh, it's the same.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's the Jezebel spirit?
I mean, it's a term in the Bible. It's basically there. I think it's a spectrum of the negative female. So there's like the dark mother, and then there's like the light mother. There's like the Lilith spectrum, and then there's like the Eve spectrum. So Jezebel is like a spirit on the spectrum of like the dark female, like the very lustful female, very manipulative female, very negative, very controlling. But naturally, she wants to appear as if she's the opposite. Like, she wants to make it appear as if she's the mother, right? The upright mother. She wants to always appear as if she's the Eve, or whatever. But like behind the scenes, she's trying to control and basically mess with relationships a lot. So my relationships are always strained by a Jezebel spirit or like a Lilith demon. Not just my relationships, but it's like if these spirits could, they would have me dead, homeless, or in jail. It's like and even like this week, I have a stalker that she tries to get me fired from every job since 2019 by calling and harassing the boss or the owner. And it's just like, we're about to press charges because enough is enough. Like, you can't just do this. But it's it's like the spirit of like the negative female. And I feel like there's a big desperation coming from her lately. So that's why she's acting out as bad as she is. But yeah, it's like only when I kind of like got out of my own way and out of my own feelings about it and just surrender it to God, that's when he was like, this is the Jezebel spirit. So I was able to look it up, and I was like, oh, wow, I'm dealing with a spirit. I'm dealing with a principality. So why would I ever fight with one, human woman? Why would I ever like quarrel with like a human woman when really it's a spirit in people?
Yeah, and with that said, do you feel like you're targeted as well to a certain degree?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Big time. And also that negative female is the negative AI. The negative AI is the negative female energy.
That's interesting. I can see that, so it's like the negative. Do you think the negative AI, it could also be demonic as well? Like a mix of like demonic AI, negative AI, and this, like, it's like inflicting men and women to like act a certain way. And do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think it's like men with their pride and their lust is really bad right now. And I feel like that's this huge imposition of a negative AI spirit, maybe too much cell phone use, maybe being around women that, because women, not just women, people with a negative AI, they drone other people. So if you're near them, if you're around them for long periods of time, you naturally start to get to think like them, be like them, you absorb that, and then you don't wonder why you have problems with pride and healthy relationships and lust.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I agree. And then I was going to ask you, not to switch up the subject, but like, do you feel like we're close to full disclosure of all these things that we talk about? Like, and do you feel like the conference is helping with stuff like that?
Yeah, I do, because like I've been saying for a while, and I think James Casbolt just said, I think on Journey to Truth, that he's like, the super soldier programs are like over. So I really, and I've been saying this for years, like I really think that we should be focusing now on like bringing it down to earth. It's sort of as a means to create like a heaven on earth type deal. So I do think we're close to full disclosure because of like what I've been saying, like he's saying about this thing in particular about closing down super soldier programs by like the people in them kind of like no longer ruminating, no longer signing up, no longer contracting out, like being healthy, happy, you know, enjoying ourselves, right? Making money, like being good. Like, you know, I think we've all been through the ringer. Like a lot of us have been homeless. A lot of us have been jobless. A lot of us have been gang stalked, and like you can't get a job anywhere and you have no friends and your family won't talk to you, you know. And now it's like I feel like we're all on the upswing, like everyone's making more money, everyone's happier, we've got healthier relationships, like everyone's family's working out, like everything is going in a good direction. And I think that's very characteristic of like kind of bringing the stuff back down to earth, you know. Like I don't think we're going to be fighting. I don't think super soldiers are going to be fighting on earth. I think that we're going to be rewarded with getting out and just like creating heaven on earth just by being normal people, like living normal lives. Oh my God, having a healthy relationship, you know, maybe having kids. Wow. Like we've never been able to do this before without someone trying to kill our kids or like we're trying to flee persecution.
Yeah, I agree. And do you have any advice for people who might be starting to realize that they're like a Milab or a targeted individual, or like might be involved in like the SSP, like people that are getting their memories back, or people that seem to feel like they're targeted all the time, or, you know?
Well, I would say maybe follow like your own destiny or like follow your own, but I gotta sort of like tell a story about when I was in St. Petersburg. There's a longtime friend of the channel, and he's a young man. He's 25, and he's been following me for I think 5 years or so. And so he like came up to like meet us. We went to the beach. We were like chatting, and he was like, honestly, he's like, I know I'm Milab. I know I'm super soldier. He's like, I know I'm all these things. He's like, everything you say resonates. He's like, but I don't give a F. He's like, I don't want to go into that. He's like, I don't want to identify as that. He's like, yeah, I'm targeted. Yeah, I see helicopters. He's like, yeah, I do see sky phenomenon. Like, yeah, my reality is weird as heck. He's like, but he's like, I don't want to identify as this. He's like, I just want to be a normal person. He's like, I just want to go to work. He's a plumber. He's like, I just want to go to work, be a plumber, and like have a relationship. He's like, I don't want to identify with any of this. So I think people have to also recognize that this is an option also, is to just choose to like be like, you know what? That's not going to be my story. Honestly, I don't love talking about my old operations. I do because I feel like it's a way for people to know who I am. But if you see me again, I don't think I will be chatting about my trafficking operations crackdown. I don't think I will do that. It's like, because to me, these are old stories. Like we want to write a new story. These are all old stories. Just like, you know, our old perpetrators are like old news, you know. Like there's a new story where like certain people are just, they're not going to be written into the new story. So this is my advice, is write a new story.
Yeah, and I was just gonna, I was checking out your Instagram. You do like or your Facebook, I can't remember which one, like, but I just noticed you do like high vibe hair too, or I guess you could call it like and you're really talented. Like you seem like you're really good at what you do, you know. Like
Thanks.
I was gonna say, like I wish I lived in Texas. I would come to you for a fade, like, you know, like you seem like you're really really good like you're really good at what you do.
Yeah, well, I've been doing a professional high-end hairdressing for 17 years, so it comes easy to me. And you know, my job is just fun because like I just talk to my friends all day, you know, like my clients. It's like like-minded people, right? All positive AI beings. So it's like I get to just like hang out with like positive people and do their hair all day and get paid for it. You know, I also have chickens. I have like a few plants. I have some vegetables planted. Like I'm a hairdresser with some chickens, right? It's like,
oh, you have chickens.
This is like old news.
People told me to get chickens. Like, do you get eggs a lot? Do you get eggs every day?
Well, I'm having trouble because there was a dog that was like plucking them off. And they're hard to find right now. And then also, if you want sweet chickens, you have to get them as babies. So I'm tempted to go grab a baby chick and show y'all. But I just got new babies because I got another batch. This dog plucked off another 3 of them. So now they're just stuck in their little barn. It is a big barn for them. But 2 of them ended up being a rooster. So I know, what am I going to do with 2 roosters and like an old chicken who doesn't lay anymore? So I just went to Tractor Supply yesterday. I got 3 babies, and they're supposed to be female. So I won't get eggs for like at least 5 months out of them. Probably longer.
Wow, but it sounds interesting though. And then you said you plant vegetables too. What are you currently planting? Like, that's so interesting to me. Like, I feel like we should all be doing this. Like, especially in our community, because we all talk about being healthy, right? Like, there's nothing better you can do than to grow your own food, and like, because then you know where it's coming from. There's not poison on it, and exactly where it's coming from. You know what I mean? Like, and they're not spraying shit on it. So I mean, and because they do it to the meat, they do it to the eggs, they do it to the vegetables, they do it to the water. It's like. So I really I give you props for doing that. Not all people do that. I mean, like, for example, like, I live in an apartment, so like it's hard for me to like have a garden. Like, my neighbor has a garden here, and she usually does it. I can't really do. People told me I could grow plants inside. I don't know. I didn't. But like, so I couldn't even have chickens or anything like that. But I mean, it's interesting to me though. I'd love to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I just got super lucky with this property. It was just like, just kind of, it just got in at the right time, saw it at the right time. Like, everything, it was just kind of crazy how it all worked out. But I guess some tomato, I'm not super good at it. Also, the conditions here are really harsh in the summer. But I got some tomato plants. I don't even like it's like cherry tomatoes. I don't even like them, so I just feed them to the chickens. And then habaneros, like, I love spicy foods. So I'm like, I've had success with serranos, jalapenos, habaneros. Like, for some reason, peppers seem to be pretty easy to like get going. But the tomatoes are difficult, but maybe in the fall they'll be better. But I have Pamela Anderson's cookbook. It's really good.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I see. Could you grow watermelon there? Like, I'm a watermelon fan.
No. Okay, so where I live, it's very rocky. So all of my beds are raised beds. So I have like one from Walmart was like $80. And also, because I rent, I want to be able to take all my plants with me when I go. So I have a ton of plants, but they're all like in portable pots in like huge beds. So I can move them.
Wow,
but so amazing. We can't do watermelon because the actual soil is way too rocky.
Yeah. Wow. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much.
I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. It's the delay. It's the delay, guys. I'm so sorry, Lynn. I'm not trying to be rude. Like, I didn't want people to think I was talking over you. It's the delay,
No, there is a delay in the internet. I'm in country internet, so it's like Pam Anderson's cookbook. She says, where there's a garden, there's hope. And I just love that quote. And I think that's so true. Like, where there's a garden, there's hope. Like, baby chicks, it's hope. Like, people, still having kids in kind of a dark time. Like, it's hope. It's good.
Yeah, I agree. Well, this has been amazing. You want to tell people where they can find you and how to follow you? And thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, of course, my YouTube channel, and then I think like in the description it would link all James Casbolt stuff. I gotta maybe double check, and email might be in there. You guys can certainly email me if you want. Facebook, of course. So just the basics.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and I'd love to do this again. And guys, I'm going to be live again in actually 2 minutes. I have Phil Barrow and David Starr coming on next, so I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. And thank you so much, Lauren, and see you guys soon.